Hi guys, this is going to be my first knife review video, and this is going out to a subscriber whose username is MacheteEater99. Now he messaged me today and said he was thinking about buying a Kershaw Storm II, and that's what this is. He said he was thinking about buying one after Christmas, and he wanted to know some of my pros and cons on the particular knife. So instead of writing out a really long email, I decided that I would just make a video. And this is also happens to be my first video request response video. So here we go. Now this is the Kershaw Storm II serrated. So there's the serrations. So this is a serrated model. I think the model number is 1475. I don't know if you can be able to see that, but it says no. It says right there. It's oh, maybe a little bit there. 1475 ST. ST just means serrated. Now, the blade is Sandvik 13C26 stainless steel, and it is 3.5 inches long with the partial serrations. The handle is 410 stainless steel, and this little black part here, they're Trac-Tec inserts. Now they're a little bit, they have the same kind of friction, or not friction, but grittiness as sandpaper, but it's not as rough. Now that's to give the knife some traction and some grip when you're holding it, and it does work, I guess, technically. If your hands get sweaty, you're not just going to squeeze it and it's not going to pop out of your hand, so that's good. The handle is about, what was that, 4 3/4 inches. So the total of the knife is, when opened, 8 1/4 inches long. And the handle, oh yeah, I already said that. Now this is a heavy knife. Now because the handle is in fact stainless steel, the knife is going to weigh out at about roughly 5.8 ounces. That's pretty heavy for an everyday carry knife. That's not to say it's a bad thing, because it's a very good knife. Now, the way the blade is shaped right here, with that curve, that gives you a nice cutting edge when you're going down and cutting into something, and it protects your tip from getting dulled or even snap off. Now, this isn't a very high grade. I mean, Sandvik is a good Japanese steel, but it's not too powerful, and I haven't had to sharpen this yet, which is really good, since I've had it for a couple months now, and the only thing I have had to slightly touch up a little bit is one of the serrations. I kind of dulled it a little bit on a piece of wood, so I had to go back and give it a nice touch up. But other than that, I mean, this thing shaves hair. I mean, that's factory. That's its factory sharpened shaved hair. I actually got what do they call it? Razor burn on the top of my hand from testing it out. So I'm not going to do that in this video because it hurt for a couple days and it wasn't pleasant. I'm going to compare it to another Kershaw knife, and let me move this back a little bit. And I mean, it's not going to be, you know, really in the same category, but it's the only other Kershaw knife I have, so I feel that it needs to face up against something. Now, MSRP for this knife on Kershaw's website is $59.95 US, but I picked it up at Walmart for $29.95. Which is good. It's about, what's that, $20 off? My math is horrible. $20. Okay. But okay, hold on. One more thing, or a couple more things actually. It's got this hole back here if you want to put a lanyard on it. I don't recommend it, only because it's such a big, heavy knife. Also, the clip is reversible if you want that tip-down carry. I don't have these are Torx bits in here, and I don't have Torx bits small enough to reverse that handle. But once I can find some, that's the first thing I'm going to do is flip that pocket clip around. Now, as for opening the knife, if you don't learn how to do it, it's really hard. I have a friend who tried to use this for the first time, and he's so used to the big, thick butt end of the CRKT 10KZ that when he first tried to open this, he actually first was unsuccessful, and second hurt his finger because it's really kind of pointy. It's kind of pointy right there. Let's see if I can get the focus. It's really kind of pointy on that tip. And it did take me like a week or two before I could do it without hurting myself, and even then, see the little redness, it still kind of hurts. But once you get it, it opens pretty good too. I mean, you obviously got to have enough room to give it a nice wrist flick, but once you do, I mean, it opens fast. And there's no blade play, front to back. Front to back is from, you know, like, is this way. There's no blade play and no side to side either, which is really good. They tried to bring down the weight a little bit by milling out these holes here. See, there's holes there, and now the blade is a liner lock. I'm sorry, not a liner lock, a frame lock, which means the frame actually, see, there's the lock right there, and they just kind of took out a little chunk so the frame would bend over when it's fully opened. So there's that. But let's see, the pros for the knife, it's still, after months of use, it's still factory sharp, which is good. That means it holds a nice it holds a nice edge for a while, and you won't have to sharpen it for a good long time. It's fast deployable, which is unusual, but I mean, if you can do it right, it's very fast. What else? The pocket clip is really nice. It just slides in and out of your pocket so smoothly. You don't have to sit there and pull the pocket clip out and fiddle around with it, or really even have to think about it at all. I have yet to figure out if the tip-down carry with the reversible pocket clip is any good, but I don't see how it could be a problem. It'd probably be easier since the bigger end's going in. Now for a little bit of a comparison. I have here a Kershaw Tanto Blur. This is an automatic knife. This is not an automatic knife. Now, I'm not going to go into that because that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to kind of show the pros and cons, and I want to also kind of compare it. Now, first I want to go over the blade. Actually the handle, the blade, the sizes are about the same. The only difference is the blade on the Tanto Blur is 3 and 5/8 or 3 1/8. Either way, it's 3 1/8. That's because it's smaller. So, but the handle's the same size. Now the handle is made on the handle on this is made of 6061 anodized aluminum, which makes it really lightweight. It actually drops, but the weight difference between these two knives, this is about 5.8 and this is about 4.2. So actually, I still say, I'm just working on what the internet said, but I still say this is lighter than 4.2 ounces. But the size is comparable. Now, this does also have the Trac-Tec inserts. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the camera. You should, because it is better quality. It does have the Trac-Tec inserts, but the only thing, I don't like the pocket clip on this one. Now, I'm going to go over the serrations, see if I can't do the serrations a little bit. Now, you see, this is probably not going to focus too well, but you see the serrations on this, they're pointed. It's really bad, it's not focusing. They're pointed on this knife, and on this one they're curved. Now, I have yet to really figure out which one I like better, the pointed or the curved, because the pointed, it does allow for better sawing, but the curved keeps the edge a lot longer, and you don't have to worry about the tips snapping off or bending, which is really good. Also, this knife was about $50. This knife was about $50, and this one was about $30. So, I mean, it makes up for everything, for all the losses. So, for a $30 knife, this is not bad at all. Would I go back and buy it again? Probably, because it is a good backup knife. I wouldn't recommend it for everyday carry only because it's so big and heavy. But I'd say if you're planning on some heavy-duty action, this should do you pretty good. I'm still in the middle of breaking it in because that does take a while, but so far it's holding up. So, Machete Eater, I do recommend this knife. I hope this video kind of helped. If it didn't, you can just ask me some more questions and I'd be happy to answer them. Well, there you go. Comments and good comments and good ratings are always appreciated. Anybody want to see a video on anything, just hit me up and I will do my best. So you got about a 99% chance that I will respond to you and get you your video. There you go, guys. Have a wonderful day, and Merry Christmas to you, Machete Eater. You kept saying